what is your topic?
Has athletes' greed marred professional sports?
And proceed.
In our world today, sports are kind of a big deal, as I'm sure many of you know. We celebrated Thanksgiving last Thursday, and there's probably a pretty good chance many of you in that time watched one of the 3 NFL games on TV with your family. You don't have to talk so much to your family when you can, watch a game on TV. Our young kids today, too, also have a large involvement in sports. They like playing sports after school, they love watching ESPN, everything to do with sports. It's a huge part of our society today. And young kids now want to become professional athletes. It's a dream of many kids growing up who play these sports. But why is it that young kids want to become professional athletes? Is it because they want to make a lot of money? Or is it because they simply love the game so much that they want to become professionals? Here's an example of some people at a baseball game who got a little into it. It just shows a little of the emotions involved in professional sports. Even though they weren't even playing, they had enough that they wanted to brawl another person in the stands. So how much money is there really involved in these professional sports? Well, Business Insider reports that the NFL brings in about $10 billion a year, and the MLB brings in about $8 billion a year. While the average salary for an MLB player is about $3.8 million, while the average soccer player is only $160,000. Now, if we want to put this into a little bit of comparison, our U.S. president only makes $400,000. So they do tend to make a little bit more than the president, but maybe there is a little bit of reason why they make so much money. Sports also, some of these figures, their numbers get carried away a little bit from these prime sports stars. When you have people saying quotes like Randy Moss, when he says, "When you're rich, you don't write checks. Straight cash, homie." And George Best, the famous soccer player, when he said, "I spent 90% of my money on women, drinks, and fast cars. The rest of my money I wasted." It's these kind of quotes that kind of gets the money in sports carried away a little bit. But maybe they say these things for a purpose. Maybe it's just for our entertainment, and it adds a little bit to these sports that we watch. So, one aspect of why maybe these guys make so much extra money is because they have to travel around the country on every single week. They could travel somewhere else. Their house could change from a single day if they get traded to a different team or drop from their team. They can have to go buy a new house in a different area. They don't get any days off. Even in the summer when you think that their season ends, they still have to be training throughout the year. And they have very little involvement within their family because they're always so busy playing sports. They also risk their bodies on a daily basis simply for entertainment. They're willing to have a career-ending injury or a permanent brain damage, per se, simply for our entertainment. Here is a big deal on why our sports players make so much money. We live in the United States. America is the land of opportunity. And I think Al Capone said it best when he says, "The American system of ours, call it Americanism, call it capitalism, call it what you like. It gives to each and every one of us a great opportunity if we only seize it with both hands and make the most out of it." I think he is 100% right when he says this. And the fact that as long as we continue to buy tickets to go see these professional sports, we buy the jerseys of our favorite players, and we watch these games on TV, we just add to the revenues of the professional sports companies. And because of that, why not pay these players extra money, or a lot of money, if they're the ones bringing in all this money in the first place? It's theirs that they earned, so why not pay them for it? So what do some of these professional sports players do with all the money that they have? Here's Larry Fitzgerald. He's a Minnesota native on the left. Larry spends a lot of time doing different types of works for charities. And in fact, Kick Them Back is a nonprofit organization. They have said that Larry has given to dozens and dozens of charities $10,000 checks. He gives them these checks simply because he feels like these organizations could use some help with a little bit of extra money. So he does that, and another neat thing he does is other fans get to select a charity that they'd like to donate $1,000 to every week. So a different fan gets to donate that $1,000. And even more important than probably just giving money is that Larry goes on these trips himself. It's one thing to give money, it's another thing that he goes out there himself and does these great works. So in my opinion, For our athletes today, they don't simply play sports because of the money. You can clearly tell guys like Larry, they play sports because they love the game, they love everything with it. So why not give them the money that they deserve?
Thank you.
506.